Hi there, Binazir here with senior editor of the Huffington Post, Russell Bishop, and his brand spanking new book, so new that it's only available in galley form, super secret. I have a copy. Workarounds that work, how to conquer anything that stands in your way at work. And great to have you, Russell.
Thanks, Ali. Appreciate being here.
Fantastic. And one of the things I really like about this book are the anecdotes. There are these great stories about nearly miraculous workarounds that have worked. So, and one of the great concepts from the book is the control, influence, respond frame. So, would you be able to share some of that with us?
Sure. In a nutshell, whatever you're bumping into in life, you're going to have to respond to. Some of it is just because that's what happens in life. It happens to you. Your ability to respond effectively is going to be a measure of how well can you control what's yours. I like to say, what can you do on your own that requires no one's permission? And then the next layer is, how do you influence other people? And eventually, if you're going to respond effectively, it's going to be a hybrid between what you can control and what you can influence.
Right. So control, influence, respond. And there was a really great story from the book that illustrated that, that paradigm really well.
Sure. There was a newly minted engineer over at UC Berkeley who went to work for an aerospace company, and he was assigned a task to work on a complex mirror mount, and he was given the leading professor in the whole world on the subject to be his mentor. He kept coming up with solutions the professor kept telling him wouldn't work. He talked to his boss and said, I've got a creative idea. The boss said, well, let's take a risk. And eventually what he had to do was overcome the experts and transigence and arrogance. And the way he influenced that professor to see the wisdom was he simply kept rereading the guy's book and asked him to comment on how did his theory apply to the solution the new engineer came up with. And in the process, he was able to show the expert that he had actually misapplied his own formula.
Right, so here's a whippersnapper kid, right? And just by being humble and knowing what he can control, namely making his own prototype, right? And then he can influence influence his boss and allow him to keep on doing it, and also influence the professor who's being like total roadblock, right? And eventually, he turns him around. To me, that was almost miraculous the way he did that. But I thought it was a good illustration of the control, influence, respond frame.
Well, and that's what your secret to life is going to be. Do what you can on your own, and then go seek permission and support from others.
That's fantastic. And this book is for anybody who is in the workforce. So, young person with getting your first job, old-time manager, entrepreneur, founder, whoever you are, this is the book of secrets that you will want to have. Thank you so much, Russell.
Ali?
January 10th, we look forward to it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for watching.